Hey, what's up guys? So I've got an upgrade planned here for my Audi soon where I'm going to be upgrading a lot of the custom installed radar detectors and laser jammers. And I've been debating back and forth whether or not I should actually remove the Radenso RC M altogether, despite the fact that it's still a perfectly fine system. Now, for reference, as you guys know, I've got a bunch of different systems installed here in the car, specifically for comparison testing purposes. Not because I need a bunch of systems, but I just like to see, which one is best and the pros and cons of each one. I've got the Radenso RC M installed right here, right behind my JBV1 phone. I've got the Escort Max CI360 right here, which I'm going to be upgrading to the new Redline CI360C. An older Stinger system, which I'm going to upgrade to the new S850. Got Velcro mounts here for like the custom V1 concealed displays. I've also got the NetRadar DSP installed, which hooks up to one of the ALP LEDs in there. Again, it's just for like comparison testing purposes. It's the same reason why I've got like a bunch of different dash cams installed here as well. Now, the Radenso RC M, when it was released 6 years ago, had a couple really nice advantages over everybody else. Number one, just like the Radenso Pro M, the windshield mount version, it was like the first radar detector that could filter out your Hondas and Acuras, which was very, very nice. Additionally, it also had the photo radar detection. So compared to something like the Escort Max CI360, for example, that couldn't do that, if you've got photo radar in your area, then the RCM would be the easy choice. Even if you didn't have it in your area, like me, for example, it's nice and like a future-proofing setup as far as like, okay, maybe you don't need the feature today, but if it shows up in a year or two, like, okay, custom installed stuff is not easy to like pull out and upgrade down the line. So it's nice to have the capability. So in case you do need it, you can just go into the settings and turn the feature on and boom, you now have that capability. Awesome. So I thought of it as like a nice future-proofing setup, even if you don't need it for today. Plus, of course, one of the big compelling reasons is the fact that it can integrate with the ALP, which is the best laser jammer on the market. So if you want one controller and one display for both radar and laser, it's a really nice all-around package. That said, a lot has changed since it was released 6 years ago, We've got the Escort and Uniden and Stinger options. Well, they've all got photo radar capability now. They've got the ability to filter out your Hondas and Acuras. Like the Escort and Uniden can now also filter out Mazda CX-5s, something that the Radenso can't do. And so it looks like the BSM advantage is no longer an advantage. Now the competition actually has ways to filter out blind spot falses that the Radenso can't handle. And so like, okay, it's not leading on blind spot filtering anymore. The photo radar stuff, okay, there's pros and cons as far as the implementation of detection and filtering from each manufacturer, sure, but they've all got photo radar detection capability as well. That then leaves things like the ALP integration, which is really nice if you do want to integrate it. I'd never actually integrated. I run my ALP standalone, so I could run it with any radar detector, windshield mount, custom install, whatever, But if you want the integration aspect, sure. That said, I've been seeing like the competition starting to catch up on the laser jamming front as well. I still think that the ALP is the best laser jammer, but now with like the new Escorts, the new Unidens coming out, like that gap between the ALP and everybody else is definitely starting to close. In fact, when I went down to Florida, the reason was to like go and test a lot of these different laser jammers. I'm still waiting for all the results to get posted on the forums, and I'll definitely do a video going over all the results and whatnot on like the laser side, but for now I'll just say that like given the gap closing on the laser side, it's not as compelling a reason to go for the ALP for the laser and kind of like just overlook everything else, And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't see a huge advantage for the RCM compared to everything else. I guess on like the radar side or on the laser side. Are there some advantages? Sure, but it's not like a big reason. In fact, myself, like I don't really even run the RCM at all anymore. It's just for comparison testing. If I want to take a look at a new firmware update or just like go out and do some shootout and see like how well do they perform in terms of range, but like range isn't even the most important thing I find of like why you would choose one of these detectors over another. It's like a lot of other things to look at. So I don't know, I look at everybody else and like they're catching up to the RCM, they're beating it in terms of features. They've got a multicolor display, they've got auto lockouts now that the Radenso doesn't have. It still has manual lockouts. Like the competition is adding Bluetooth stuff, The Escort and the Uniden have that. The Escort's also adding Wi-Fi. So like the competition is definitely moving up, whereas the Radenso feels like it's starting to get kind of out of date at this point, And it's not just the black and white display when everybody else is going multicolor. It's a lot of the like features and capabilities here as well. The Radenso also doesn't have an accurate frequency display. It also just rounds the frequencies for all the alerts, which is something I really don't like here about the Radenso. So I look at the system and I'm like, should I keep it in it? Like if I have a lot of stuff installed here, I'm not going to run it. Should I just remove it altogether? Like I like having the systems for just comparison stuff, but like I don't know if it's as compelling a choice nowadays. I mean, I guess it's okay, but like I don't know. This is kind of where I'm stuck going back and forth, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Like I guess it doesn't really matter for you. It's just my car. It's ultimately up to me. But like, I don't know. Is there like a good reason to run the RCM? Is it mainly still just like, well, if you want to integrate with the ALP, I guess that's the main thing nowadays. But like, you might actually be better off, like if you want the ALP, cool, but then go for like the Escort system, so you can get the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi and the auto lockouts and the better blind spot filtering and the multicolor display and like all the other advantages. Fine, you've got separate controllers and display, and I get that not everybody wants it, but like I think that's a much better package than like really needing to integrate them and what you sacrifice on the radar side. I know Uniden, like they've got the R9 that they don't want to separate and do like just radar separately and laser separately, so you do have to buy it as a package. But then maybe like, okay, well, the R9's laser jammers are really good. Maybe you'd want to go that route and get like the Uniden radar and laser stuff instead of the ALP with the Radenso, because that has a lot of advantages as well. Once I get the system installed and like all the test results are in, don't worry, I'll definitely do like a much more detailed comparison with all this kind of stuff. But like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't really run the RCM anymore, and I don't find it to be that compelling to run nowadays compared to the competition. So I'm kind of just thinking like whether or not I should keep it installed or just maybe remove it and make space for like other systems that are being updated that are more compelling, I think, nowadays. Another thing that's kind of in the back of my mind, because it's Radenso, is like all the Thea stuff that was announced back in 2019, and here we are in 2024. Still wondering where the heck is Thea? Like they've announced Thea 2. They announced something last year, like a new product that they were going to release last year. That didn't come out either. So we're sitting here like, okay, well, what's going on with Radenso? You know, I don't have any answers. You guys have been asking. It's all always in the comments, you know, where's Thea, all that. I'm like, dude, I'm wondering the same thing. You know, like we had an update for the Radenso DS1 a little while ago, very minor update with like KA low speed muting or something, but really nothing there. The Pro M, I feel like, is out of date as well compared to everything else. There's not a reason to get it. And kind of similar here with the RCM, like, I don't know. I mean, I got it here. I can leave it here. It's not that big of a deal, you know, but like I don't really run it. I don't find it to be that compelling. Should it just remove the system altogether, make space for other things and not like get things too crowded here in my car, you know? So anyways, I'm just kind of like thinking about this stuff, and does it make sense to keep the system in the car, or should I just remove it and make space for other things that are being updated, that are more compelling, that have better features, that offer more, quite frankly, than the RCM does? And so I've just been thinking about this, and I kind of wanted to just share my thoughts with you guys, and I'd love to hear kind of your opinion as far as what you guys know so far on like the RCM versus the Radenso, the Escort, versus the Escort, the Uniden, the Stinger, versus, you know, all the other stuff that's now coming out as well. So I don't know. I just don't find it that compelling anymore nowadays, and I've just been deciding whether or not I should pull it. So still not sure. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I'll definitely keep you guys posted with more. Still got to do a video on like all the best radar detectors. That's why, dash cams. That's why that's up there. Doing, you know, best custom installed stuff, best laser jammers. All that stuff is definitely in the works. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you in the next one.